Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again, it's showtime. And everything's going to be happiness and rainbows today. I promise I won't complain about the game. He's lying. Yeah, I'm lying. All right, I'm up to level 24, I think. Yeah. I almost didn't stream because I do get so frustrated with the game. But I would like to at least get to the putative end game. And also would like to see the new content. You know? Please do inform me if you see any sort of stuttering in the game. I did not have a problem with stuttering in my video, but in the game video, it does, or did. I think I fixed it. Sadly, if I play the game on DX12, I get better performance on screen. But I get nothing when I stream the game window instead of the screen. So I have to use Vulkan, because if I'm streaming from the screen instead of the game window, that's what causes the performance issue. But Vulkan's the only one that is actually working through streaming the game instead of my screen. It's complicated, and it took me a while to figure it out, and I wasn't pleased about how much time, effort, and frustration it caused. But this one is not, well, probably not PoE2's fault. Might be. Might be. My objective is to outlevel the Trial of the Sekimas by a significant amount before I try, because it's a mechanic I dislike so strongly. All right, we finished off the Mastodon Badlands. I think the Valley of Titans is next. Yep, that's the Trial of the Sekimas. This is the one we need, and then we have to go to the City of the Seven Waters. So yeah, Crown of Stone, Valley of the Titans. What do we get in the Valley of the Titans anyway?
I am forbidden by the terms of the Third Pact from invoking the right.
Okay, that's great. I'm so glad we could have this little chat. All right. All right, here we go again. Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. I am going to try and make it all happy thoughts all the time. That will not be happening. All right.
This valley is not natural. It's been
I hate that freaking thing so much.
Storming arrow.
All right, who's summoning the freaking tornadoes? I just don't think that's necessary. Also, did they really get real tornadoes in the desert? I don't think so, because generally a tornado is caused by like two different fronts sort of going past each other. And you're not going to get like big thunderstorm rain type things out of a desert, generally speaking. So I just think that's not meteorologically feasible. Thank you. This has been my TED Talk. I need those gold pieces. Dead end, I think. No, maybe not. More gold pieces. I can't have enough. I'm not sure at what point you can actually use the store, you know, the player-based store from the market. I tried, and it said, you don't have the appropriate thing. I think you probably have to have a checkpoint. You have to have a hideout of your own to use somebody else's hideout. I've read people saying that you could. Well, we can at least get this out of our goddamned inventory. So the first thing I'm going to complain about today, about the game, is the incredible stupidity of requiring a game with such a small inventory to carry quest items in it. It is purely an act of griefing on the part of the developers. Game doesn't require that. That's done just to piss off the players. Why are you still alive? I hit you in midair. You should take extra damage from, getting hit in midair. Bane Growl, all right. Shroud Walker and extra fire. Shroud Walker. I don't suppose that's like a day walker. We have Agony Blade the Repulsive. Oh, that's just mean. Who would say that to a guy? I don't know. Maybe he likes the recognition he gets from having a name like that. I can't see it. A Gigante Life Flask. Well, yes, we would like that, please. That's another level for me. I'm now level 25. Let's see, we were headed that way. So that we can maim them on hit. Yeah, maiming. Who doesn't like a little good old-fashioned maiming? And when I was a kid, my parents maimed me 2-3 times a week, and I grew up just fine. Kids today, I mean, they're just so weak. I'm just making crap up now. War pick? How about a nose pick? I don't remember how many ancient seals there are. I've got to find all of them. 3, 4? I don't know. Oh, we have Abyss sign. Got murdered by Abyss again. Didn't get trapped this time, though, so that was different. I was in a very narrow sort of corridor, and I managed to hit the point where the next wave of Abyss monsters spawns, and they all popped up, like, I don't know, a dozen, maybe more, and they instantly all launched horrible green beams of death at me. That was very quick. Remarkably quick, I might say. Wish I could see shit. That's one of the waves I was talking about. They all come out at once. Soul Flame Geysers. I have no idea what they are, but those would be them, I'm guessing. And he's accurate. And again, I'm in a narrow spot where I can't realistically do much to him.
No mana.
And again, here's another complaint for you. Yellow mobs that are much tougher than the actual supposedly difficult boss mobs. It's fine. It's fine. But that freaking thing won't go away. Did it finally go away? It did. No, it didn't. It just sits there. Apparently that one never goes away. I don't know. We've got an Abyssal Trove anyway. Don't have anything good in it? Possibly, yes. Holy crap. I haven't gotten much in the way of the uniques. I think that's my third. Might be usable. One was a shield. Another was the low-level staff that is basically a combat staff. It's got a couple sockets. Something Thorn, I think, in PoE1. I think. Don't quote me. Said don't quote me. Good evening to whomever is unfortunate enough to have joined me. We will check our shabby hood, which theoretically, I mean, it's evasion, it's leather, I'm evasion. Although I still have an awful lot of energy shield because it's much at lower levels. It's much more practical. Let's see what we've got. Oh, okay.
This holds great power.
Not a lot of evasion. A little mana, a little cold, a little chaos resist, and increased mana regeneration. That's not even fucking close to being good. It's actually kind of dumb. It has no level requirement. So yeah, sure, on a level 1 it's going to be okay. But on anybody else, I do not understand. How about the Roa hide coat? Would that be nice enough for us to actually want to use? Probably not, but we'll check. 151, 31 life, 2 decent low tier resistances. I will give up the 54 energy shield, which is going to hurt, but we do get a little bit more life. We get a lot of evasion. Current evasion is at 0%, which is, I think you'll agree, not impressive. Ooh, 11%. That's really not much better. How is the patch? I've heard it described as if you get the right skills, it's good. If you pick the wrong skills, you're screwed. So if you want to give it a run, my recommendation would be probably Witch, which I'm not running. And then the skills would be Essence Drain, Contagion, and Minions. Contagion is an area effect that does a little bit of damage, but if something dies when it has Contagion, it recasts Contagion around itself. So Contagion by itself, not very good. Endurance Drain is a single target chaos spell that does a lot of damage fast. And when Contagion goes off, it takes Essence Drain with it. It's a classic PoE1 build, ED Contagion. You throw an Essence Drain, you throw Contagion on, well actually you throw Contagion on a batch of mobs, you hit one of them with Contagion, it dies. And gives all the rest Contagion, and they die. But because they have Contagion, actually gives all the rest Essence Drain as well. But because they have Contagion, when they die, they recast Contagion and Essence Drain to everything around them. If you get it right, you can clear a screen and a half, maybe even 2 screens worth of mods. You combine it with some minions for some nice meat shielding, you've got a good build. I certainly wouldn't recommend. I haven't seen anyone. I don't know if anyone's even playing the Amazon, which was added in the last patch. I have no idea. I haven't seen anyone playing it. I am playing a build that's supposed to be strong, and it is intermittently strong, which is Lightning Arrow, but I have no idea, how powerful it should be, at what level, and so on. Whoa, hey! Hi, I've got friends. Pardon me for a second. The game looks great. Generally plays well, although I do have one issue with it because I'm streaming. So I have one weirdness where I would rather be playing in DX12, but DX12 isn't showing up if I stream. Hey, Snoopy. Hey, you have been playing Snoopy or not? It is free for those of you who aren't aware. And I got sidetracked. I blame everyone but me. So, Vorp, Snoopy, you guys are at fault. I think I was talking about the Lightning Arrow build, which is one of the ones. Basically, Pathfinder. No, sorry. Deadeye is supposed to be good. Was waiting a bit. Oh, well, if you haven't tried it, it's a free weekend. Definitely try it. Save yourself the money until you realize that you want to play it or that you don't want to play it. Free weekend. Strongly recommend anyone considering it who hasn't already pre-purchased. Take advantage of the free weekend. Hell yes, do that. You would be plumb loco to not take advantage of it. Come on, come on. I know you're out there. There you are. Ha 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 ha. Certainly, I think waiting to buy was the right call. But I strongly recommend trying it. Free is exactly the right price for just about everything. There we are. Look, it's the Titan Grotto. It's had a few issues. I think it's getting there. From the overall thing I've heard, most people are positive. Some people are negative. There seems to be a significant correlation between the negativity and the skills they started. So go with a safe skill, which is why I was recommending the Vorp. If he was going to try it, you go with Essence Drain, Contagion, Minions, Witch. So the class would be Witch, or start Witch. Essence Drain, Contagion, I've played it a half a dozen times through the leagues. It's always been at least B plus, at least, and sometimes A tier. I'm not including S because that's a made up tier. Okay, if we're including S tier, it's always been like an A minus at least. Of course, the game felt slow when it first came out. It still feels slow. It is still a much more deliberate pace of play than most of the other ARPGs. They have added one new feature that takes care of some of it, which is the ability to run, which I will now demonstrate. Dodging or evading is space, but if you hold the space bar down, you dodge or evade, you roll, and then you keep running. And at that point, you don't want to be using WASD anymore. You want to just hold down the space bar and then it follows the cursor. Other than that, I would recommend WASD movement. Take some adjustment. But at least for this game, some of the skills really punish you if you're not playing WASD. I'm playing Lightning Arrow, which is uniformly held to be at least good this league. And I have some complaints about it because, of course, I do. I'm me. But I wouldn't not recommend it. I would say it's a safe build. For instance, Steel Mage was playing. I don't know if you're familiar with Steel Mage. And the reason he chose the class he did was he wanted to try one thing, but he had a fallback position. The one thing he described as dog shit. The fallback position was Essence Drain Minion. Essence Drain Contagion Witch, I think. But Essence Drain Contagion. So Essence Drain Contagion will get you far into the game. And so for a safe build, that's what I'm recommending. And I think Witch also allows you minions. So you can, if you want to, you can go emphasizing minions, or you can go, oh, we've got the link mechanic, boys and girls. Oh, proximal tangibility. Jesus. This is one of the bullshit things they've added to the game. Some mobs have bullshit affixes, and this would qualify as bullshit affix. It can't take any damage unless you're standing right fucking next to it. This is the kind of stuff that drives me crazy. The yellow mobs, the rare mobs, are tougher than the bosses because you can get combinations of affixes. And that was just 2 affixes. Now, I have some issues with a lot of the game decisions they've made. So I'm not going to say that I am the person you should be listening to about whether the game is good or not, but I think I can give useful input on what builds you might want to try to avoid any issues. Because some people are having, significant, and there's another freaking yellow, and he's got proximal tangibility again. Awesome. Have I mentioned what a bullshit fucking affix that is? At least he only has accuracy and not something, I'm stunned, that's not good. But that's one of the problems you run into and collision. So in a narrow place, a boss I have to be standing next to hit. So, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that makes me angry, actively angry. And when I say old man swears at game, this is the kind of thing I'm swearing at. And I'm almost dead again because I can't get into a position to hit him because he's too fucking big. Literally, I can't get by him. They enlarged the collision box that the player has, this patch as well. So that's another thing that's a problem. Is in patch 1, you basically couldn't roll through 2 mobs standing next to each other. So if you got trapped, you were dead. They fixed that in patch 0.2. You could roll between mobs. It's unfixed in patch 0.3. Whether it's completely unfixed or whether they just enlarged your dodge roll box a lot, I don't know. But I do know that I have died by getting trapped 3 times. Not a fan. Alright, we killed the mobs. Pardon me. We have an abyssal armory.
Got no pack space for that.
My inventory is full of crap again. You know, you have a game where it is, to some degree, all about getting loot. And what do? You make it so people can't pick up the loot that drops. Alright, back to town to sell stuff. This is the this patch is the first real league, yeah. It's largely a remake of the Abyss League, which was my first ever PoE1 league, that I played from the start. So, tail end of Harbinger League, like the last week and a half or so, and then the start of Abyss was when I started playing, I don't want to say religiously, but every patch until recently. So I have fond memories of Abyss patch. In this case, I think it's a little overtuned at low levels. No, I think it's a lot overtuned at low levels. I don't know about high levels because I'm level 25. I think a lot of people probably ran into a big issue when you start running into Abyss mobs and you don't realize that all of a sudden you kill a couple and the next wave erupts and there's like a dozen mobs. And you're dead.
Care for a story? You young one.
Let's see. We want to sell that or not. It's a lot of life. We'll hold on to it. Anything else that we might want to sell? 165. That's more mana. Yeah, we're going to want to sell those. 131.
Here, have this useless gold.
Close that. Disenchant. We want to disenchant. This is our old. It's got lens stank on it. Nobody wants it. So, just to reiterate, if you have not played, it's free to play now. I strongly recommend it. I would want to make sure I got a decent build, so my recommendation was Witch, Essence Strain, Contagion, and Minions. Although I'm running Ranger, Lightning Arrow, and eventually I think that'll be fine. How good? I don't know. It doesn't feel strong, but then games, you usually don't feel strong until you're pretty deep into it. It's just so much more of a slow slog of a game than PoE1 ever was. Which is why, you know, if you're a PoE1 player, I advise trying it. If you're not a PoE1 player, I also advise trying it because it's a lot easier to approach than PoE1. PoE1 is the most actively hostile game to new players I've ever seen in my life. This one's not. It's a lot more welcoming and streamlined at the low levels. You know, so that's something I think they did very, very well, is they made the new player experience a lot better. I'm not sure how they could have made the new player experience a lot worse, but they've made it a lot better. I mean, the historical sort of joke for a game with a terrible learning curve was EVE Online, where they had the learning curve that looked like it started off flat and turned into a overhanging cliff with bodies crucified at the top. I would say that the actual learning curve in PoE 1 is worse. I'm pretty sure Daddy Longlegs don't actually spit freaking webs. I don't know it for a fact. Just don't think that that's what they do. Of course, on the other hand, Daddy Longlegs are not 18 feet tall and 30 feet in diameter, as far as I know. Just a goodies. Not so goodies. And a dead end. Time for another complaint. A long dead end like that serves no purpose in an ARPG. ARPG players utterly hate backtracking. And these guys have been ARPG players forever. They know we hate it. So why? Why? Another one. Not a huge one, but this can be just cut off here. We don't need that. Nobody asked for it. We certainly don't want it.
Fury!
So the skills I'm using, that's just your basic free arrow shot. Hit something. This is lightning arrow. This is lightning rod, which is basically causes a lightning arrow to bounce around a lot more. Voltaic mark. Marks an enemy, so when you kill it, it gives off a big explosion. Let's do that. That was the big explosion. And then Orb of Storms creates a little, kind of like a little turret. Oop. Suddenly the lights came on. A little, sort of like turret doing electrical damage. Maybe that dude doesn't want to stand on a ledge out there near a guy with a bow and arrow. Just saying maybe. So the lightning rods are those things on the ground. And lightning arrow does the nice little cause bzzz between mobs that you would want to think would happen. I killed this one. I want his gold too. I've taken his life. I want his dignity and his gold. Why, I will look at this Titan sword. Nice visual coming up. Oh. Guess that's not the visual. Huh. I thought that was the visual. It is still coming up. Oh, look! I get to backtrack all the way down here. That's awesome. That running mechanic is new. Oh, we're backtracking again. That's great. Love it. We love it. Now, you don't want to run everywhere because if you get hit while you're running, you take a heavy stun. Did they did move things around. I've never never seen the boss with the aspect where he's going to appear in the northwest. It's always been in the northeast, or as you were looking at it, northwest. Nope, northwest, northeast. Yeah. Oh, he's not. We're not there yet. I thought that was it. No. We have actually completed an entire loop. That's so awesome. Thank you for this. GGG. This is the best thing ever. What, did I miss something? I really thought that was going to be the... Maybe I missed something there. I thought that was going to be the thing, but it wasn't the thing. Maybe it actually is supposed to be the thing. No, that's not the thing. It's not the boss. I'm at a loss. I mean, I guess it could be there, but I don't see how. No, it's certainly not. I honest to God don't know what the hell's going on. This was the abyss that I defeated.
Fury. Bones to dust.
Nope, that's a dead end. Over there, maybe? Well, we'll finish this off first. Backtracking to yet another backtrack does not sound like fun. No, all right. Nope. Okay, there. This is why I think the map design in the game is bad. There's no reason for not for a map to be this convoluted. Make an argument for that. To be this convoluted and this big, there is no case for it. Well, I have covered, I believe, literally the entire rest of the map to find this. You played EVE Online for many years. I played it for a good number of years. I have 3 accounts, but they were all started at different times. I never was a person who ran multiple accounts. Like a lot of games, I enjoyed the early game. I got up to the point where I got well past where I was flying a Raven. I dipped my toes into a number of different flavors of solo appropriate setup. I'll be dying here, by the way. I just want to get that out of the way. But here is the awesome graphic. There, that dude is up there. He's waking up. He wants to come and play. Oh, I got hit by one at the end there. Ow, okay. Jerk. Kind of a jerk. Yep, there's the death. Not a boss I like. Also not a boss I'm doing much damage to. I hate the notifications. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Hey, come on back and play. See, I really do love the animation. It's great.
Fury!
Ah, I got hit multiple times. Ow, okay. That hurt. Not gonna pretend it didn't hurt. Oh, he moved! He cheated and moved! Don't know if I know he did that or not. Come on, just freaking die. Thank you. Oh. It's fine.
Hot to the touch.
I want to say for the record that having any kind of ground effect or anything that can hit you or harm you after the mob is dead is a bullshit mechanic. Thank you. That's all I got. I covered literally every last inch of this map, so I don't think there's anything else here. Quest item, the Flame Ruby. All right, back to quote-unquote town. Oh, visually, it's great. And the fighting feels good, but like you just don't have enough control. No movement skills if you played PoE1. The amount we miss movement skills is just about unlimited.
This rule. I've got some trinkets. I'll ask Shambrin about this one.
No, get rid of that one.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell the care in the game that this is a game these people are enjoy. character have a haste or movement speed stat? There is movement speed. I don't think I have any on my character's gear, but I do have some on the passive tree. So for instance, here, yeah. So there's 2%. I think I've got another 3% someplace else. So you can grab it in various places here on the tree as well. But it's never going to, it's generally not going to be a large amount. So what you would want to do is you'd end up getting a lot of nodes sort of in transit from place to place, like that's 2%. And maybe, you know, over here would be 3%, and then maybe throw in a node somewhere that's got like 8%. And you throw a bunch of those together and your movement speed can get pretty decent. Especially with boots. Boots, usually players will emphasize movement speed because it's so important. At least historically in PoE 1. But PoE 1 had movement skills, so a lot of times you could get by without it. This looks better than this. It doesn't have the projectile skills, though. 6 affixes, 6 affixes. So, we'll do a quick check. We are currently at 505 DPS theoretical. On the lightning window, arrow, 505, 535. 535, as you may be aware, is more than 505. It is approximately 30 more. Cold, fizz, lightning, crit chance, crit damage when you do crit, and mana. Whereas this one's got the proj skills. I think I probably want to keep this one rather than selling it for now. We could add 2 desert runes to give ourselves more fire damage, but I'd really rather have more lightning damage. Or cold. Alright, let's see. Find the other relic. It's got to be in Keth, then. My memory is that it's not in Keth. Where's the fucking relics? Ancient Vows. I want to check. Hunting around the Vastiri Plains. Ancient Vows. One is in Keth. Okay. The thing about these is they don't drop in a specific place in those maps. They fall from random mobs in those maps. So I want to make sure I was going to the correct map. Okay, now Keth. That's an internet meme. Checks out.
Seems there's a meeting at the main cart.
The weary traveler has reached the end of the path. Welcome to the city of whence bounty springs. Behold our lush plains and
as a point of complaint, not about PoE2, but about all ARPGs ever, the waypoint should unlock the minute you get off the vehicle. You shouldn't have to run up to it. Thank you. I want to be clear, that's not a PoE2 issue. That's an issue with every goddamn ARPG and MMORPG, for that matter. Level. I dinged. Or possibly dunged. Not very good at aim, is he?
Too slow.
We'll back up a little bit, and then we will look at our skill point. I believe, do we have that one? Not yet. Yes, we do. Increased attack damage, and attacks have a 25% chance to maim on hit. And let's face it, maiming is good. Alright, who's summoning the minions that those are? It is Abyss time. Again, this is the new league mechanic, the new seasonal mechanic, if you will. Holy crapoli! Okay. Where's the one I put the seal on? That was it. Would you die already, sir? You do have to be careful because they come in waves, and you'll kill one and that will trigger the next wave. And if you're too close, too bad? However, they do give lots of XP. Oops, that's the wave. The next wave just popped out to say, hi, how you doing? There we go. We have cleared out. Oh, it's only a blue quality trove. That was the biggest, certainly the quickest I've dealt with one of the abysses. All right, what is summoning all those? Whoa, jeez, what the shit was that? Okay. And something is still summoning these assholes, and I don't know where. Was that a prism? I think that was a prism. A prism would be a really good pull for me, so I'm going to back off for a minute. A gem cutter's prism. By default, a gem can have a skill gem can have 2 support gems. But a gem cutter's prism will allow for a 3rd. There's 2 more tiers of them. But basically, I'll probably increase my damage by 30 to 40% from what it's currently at. Those are G, I think, although gems. Okay, I'll buy that. We want lightning arrow, and it should open up the 3rd socket. It didn't. But it did something to the gem? Plus 2 levels? No. It went away. What the hell did it do? Oh, okay, quality. I didn't realize that they still had the quality in there. All right. Yeah, it just increased the quality by 5%, which means it's going to do more damage and stuff. All right. Never mind. Not that big a freaking deal, after all. Sad. Sad, really, when you think about it. But, anything else in the way of skill gems? We've got Voltaic Mark. Lightning arrows at 7. The rod probably wouldn't be bad. Yeah, we'll go ahead and upgrade the lightning rod. It gives us a lot of extra stuff. Let's sell that.
Careful story for you, young one. This could be. You do not wonder.
Put those in the box. What's in the box? That's the Titan Grotto. We don't want the Titan Grotto. Where were we? We were Kef. The mapping. The map. Not the endgame map system, which I also don't like, but I'm nowhere near that. But the in-game map for following the storyline is really genuinely awful. It's pretty and non-functional.
Storming arrow.
Pitiful.
It's more often than not confusing. You should try to figure out where you've been, where you're supposed to go, etc. Which is kind of the opposite of the in-game purpose. I think they've made it look cool instead of trying to make it functional. I'm not saying it couldn't be both. I just don't think they've succeeded in making it both. Checkpoint. Really? So this is Bohemia? That's an old guy reference. An old guy geography reference. An old guy cartography reference. Damn it. Don't want that. What? I have no idea. I'm stuck again. They absolutely, and I did see a post on it on Reddit, they absolutely screwed with basically the dodge. Made it much harder than it was in point 2. I think I'm probably going to lose and fail. Knock her down. Hit her while we can. Okay, that was easy. Never was any doubt in my mind at all. You know, except other than when I was getting my ass kicked early on. And then there was a little doubt. Just, you know, a smidge. 2 passive points. Yes, please. We'll go ahead and grab these 2. Evasion and movement speed. So we've got 3%. We now just have picked up 5% movement speed. Not a big deal. But it helps.
Nowhere to run.
All right, we are now attempting to find, I think if memory serves, like there's a path into the city itself. And also, we're looking for a drop of the second part of a quest item. Snacks! Well, not little beetles. If I ever saw a beetle that big, I would wet my pants. I'm an entomophobe. Beetles scare me. Don't know why. Of course they shouldn't. They're just bugs. But they do. There's no logic to it. I see there's logic, though, to say, my fear of tornadoes. I'm pretty sure that one comes from The Wizard of Oz. Don't know it for a fact. Feels right. Stop biting my butt. Not you guys. You guys can keep biting my butt if you want to. All right, well, this is Keth. All right, I think we go in. Somewhere up here, something drops the goodie. You see what happens, man? I knew how all of... Oh, no, this is just free stuff. Well, okay, not free. Relatively inexpensive stuff. Yellow chest. Obviously, rare chest must have incredible loot. Well, it had loot. I'm not sure the checkpoint was warranted there. Well, let's try this way. But it does feel like we're getting another one of those maps where there's the other relic we were looking for. That chest had nothing. Well, that chest had gold and vagabond armor. I like to think I'm a wogish Wapskowian, so vagabond would be appropriate. Let's see, find the entrance to Keth buried somewhere in the sands. God. Stop popping up out of the ground, you little dickweeds. Oh, stairs down. A looted vault. Another one, huh? $11 gold and a giant life flask. Whatever will I do with my newfound riches? Clearly, I'm off to Vegas. By the way, Vegas visitors way down. Way down. And it's not just the international issues. Prices have gone way, way up. Used to be, Vegas is where you went, you wanted to have some fun, maybe get some nice food, do the whole thing relatively cheap. Not anymore. Oh, checkpoint again. Ah, there we go. The Lost City. Of course, now they have to change the name on all of their, all the T-shirts and all that stuff, because it's not Lost anymore. It's now the Found City. Obviously. Oh, teleport. Yes, we need to go back to... No, not to town. We need to go above ground back to the Valley of the Titans. And it isn't the Titan Grotto. It's another place in the valley. But sadly, because the mapping is such garbage... Yeah, I can't go to any of the other waypoint locations or anything. Oh, this one does take me to the battalion. I take it back. I revoke my complaint. I didn't think it actually dropped you in close. Where you... All right, increased charm charges gained per slot, or something I can't read. Increased charm effect duration and a charm slot. Okay, that's improvement. The second charm slot is kind of a big deal. Charm charges gained or effect duration. I think duration is probably better. You can change it, I know, later on if you want, from one to the other. Let's head back to the caravan. All of these people who are praying are strapped up to the front of this wagon and are pulling it. Guys riding what look like roas, wielding whips, making friends everywhere they go. I identified 5 items. Are any of them salvageable? Yes, charms sort of take the place of 3 of the flask slots. By default, you have a life flask and a mana flask, and these will give you additional, mostly elemental protections. So they kind of act like additional flasks. I believe, for instance, any of the... mechanically, they're basically just flasks. I believe, for instance, if you get a unique one and you drop it into the unique tab, it doesn't go in with... it goes under flasks instead of any other category. So basically, functionally, and inside game tech-wise, they're kind of like flasks. And in the 0.1 release, essentially you only got 1. It was almost impossible to get 2, let alone 3. Now they've changed that quest reward to give you an additional slot, and I think that is a very good and appropriate use of that quest. Now, the thing I've never been clear on, and I have seen people say both ways, is it says that it has, for instance, I'm over the Drizzling Topaz Charm, which has plus 25% to lightning resistance. But it also says used when you take lightning damage from a hit. I have seen it said where the first hit you get activates it, but you don't get the 25%. I've also seen the other way where it says, yes, it gets activated when you get hit, and that hit is reduced by 25%. I have no idea which one is true. 0. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yeah, one of them is probably true. I just have no idea which. Basically. Quiet down there. Hush. 193. Do you have life and a couple of resists, please? Got dex and a couple of resists. It's got 31 life. That's a non-trivial amount of life. Does it have an open affix? It has all 6. That has an open affix. This will get saved for now. And we'll figure out if we want to do something else with it later. This one we can sell or deconstruct. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato.
You young one.
Let's just call the whole thing
I've
off.
heard
There we go.
something about this one.
The well. The single dumbest thing in the game. Either PoE1 or PoE2. The dumbest thing. In PoE 1, you go back to town, it automatically refills all your flasks. In this game, you have to click the well to refill your flasks. And if you forget and you die, the developers give themselves some self-gratification and laugh at you. I'm going to AFK for a second, refill my coffee cup. I'll be right back. Hi, I'm back. AFK is off. Lens is back. How are we looking in currencies and such? Help. Don't suppose you happen to be selling a ludicrously overpowered bow, do you, ma'am? No. That one's actually not bad. If I didn't have one that actually had both of those affixes at higher values, along with good affixes in addition, I might be tempted to purchase it.
Sands guide you.
And that would add a chunk more damage. But I think I'd rather hold on to those. They're just not getting as many as those as we might have hoped for. We're off to the city of Keth, I think, now. The Lost City. Again, how do you misplace a freaking city? I have a question. How do these guys actually, get fresh air and whatnot? That's why things were blowing. Explodes nearby corpses. I was wondering why things were blowing up, and now I know. Another yellow mob. Fortunately, that one, not particularly difficult, although dangerous. What did I pick up? I don't want this shield. I don't want it. I don't want it. And a dead end. Let's make maps that are way too big. And while we're at it, you know what we can do? We can throw in a whole shitload of dead ends. Players love those. I dinged, or possibly dunged. Your mileage may vary. Let's see where we're going next. I still don't have a gem to put in that jewel socket. I haven't gotten any drops. I'm going to assume that we're not going there. I'm just going to take a moment to browse and see before I check on the build guide that I'm kind of following. Traps? No. That's a bow. Arrows pierce an additional target. Increases in reduction in projectile speed also apply to damage. Arrows gain critical chances they travel further. I would say the pretty good chance we're heading over here for the bow nodes. Because bow nodes football. That's a really old guy reference. So I think we're heading over here. I'm not sure which ones specifically we would be trying to glom onto. I do like the little cosmetics they've added where these nodes look like are shaped like a bow constellation. Over here you've got spear. I approve of those little notes. Let's see where we're going. It's loading. Website is from the primitive ages. My God, what the hell? Come on, guys, seriously? There we go. That is not our next destination. We are headed for acceleration, which is there. So we are going here. But we're headed over here for a little more movement speed, you asked, and skill speed. That'll be 16% skill speed. Lightning arrow is a little on the slow side. But that's fine because so are.
Charged arrow.
Top bow, huh? Let's go this way. And now this way. Whoops!
In my zone.
Pilgrim vestments. Oh. And, ladies and gentlemen, we have Abyss again. Hey, everybody seems to be coming at once. What the shit? I can't get in there because somehow we activated the mobs in there and they've frozen up. There's a location that spits out a whole bunch of statues, or a couple of them in this map. And I think we just activated one and they all ran to the door and then deactivated. As best I can tell, that's what has occurred. My assumption is that is not an intended behavior. It is a funny one. I don't know if we can get around behind them or not. I'm going to try. But it would be significantly less funny if it turned out that that's the only way to actually, the only path that actually allows you to finish the map. That would be unfortunate. Or advance through the map. No, it doesn't look like we can get around behind them. Oh, the hilarity just keeps on leaving. periodic cold explosions, and armor of some kind, I think. A gilded beetle. Oh, maybe we're coming up behind it. We are. That's all the bad guys. See, right now I wish I had a movement skill, because I'd be able to, you know, magically bounce to the other side. But there's loot back there, and I am a loot-driven ARPG player. Theoretically, another wave should have spawned. Just one mob to go. There we go. There was one last mob over here. Underwhelming would be the reward for that running around. Let's try this way then. A way we haven't gone yet. And it's a dead end. Thanks, GGG. We love those. Yeah. Checkpoint. The Galleria. Whoops. Welcome to Bug Central. Bugs, Mr. Rico, zillions of them. Oh, that's right, this is the big... There was an entire, basically meta about farming this guy and only this guy for a while. As this mob had some sort of guaranteed drop or drops, and so people were just farming it repeatedly. And it was meant to be a one-time event that pops up. But it spawns right next to this checkpoint. And people would get the checkpoint, they'd reset the map, and just farm. Over and over and over. Ooh, our first jewel, finally. Please be at least usable one, so it's worth me putting into my my passive tree, even if just temporarily. Come on, don't be something like +1 to mana regeneration. 2% increased freeze threshold. Not even worth putting into the socket. I refuse. I refuse to embarrass my socket with that. Oh, this entire thing was a dead end. Look at how far we've got to go back. Wait, where is there a live? Okay, there's a live exit. Crap. Yeah. We love dead ends. How many times have I said that already? I've been at this an hour and 25 minutes. I hate to keep repeating myself, but I hate dead ends even more. Hey, look, guys. Dead end. What are the odds? So once again, I have investigated this entire area of the map. All of it. To find this one path. If anyone is wondering why I think PoE2 is a game filled with player hate. In other words, not that the players hate it, but that the devs hate the players. It's crap like that. This isn't making anything challenging or interesting. It's just padding. Make all of your maps big. Well, most of your maps anyway. There's the statues animating that I was talking about. You know, that's cool. I like that. I like the statues animating. I think it's cool. It's nicely done. Like most everything else in the game, visually it's very cool, and at least the idea of the gameplay behind it is cool. But then I got blocked out of getting to an area because they moved and then deactivated. Generally, this is just delicious experience. That's all it is. Oh, there was one bug that I didn't see. How about you guys? You guys haven't activated yet. Come on. Everyone else is having fun. Why aren't you? You don't want to be the only terracotta soldier not having fun. You shot something at me, you jerk? You think I'm just going to let you do that? Don't think so. Oh, somebody else is shooting stuff at me. Again. You think I'm just going to let that pass? That's not me, man. Cross me, I gotta pay. Or at least that's my bullshit narrative and I'm sticking to it. The buried shrines. I'm sure it's very nice down there. Ooh, nice pop there from the shoulder. The buried shrine. Sands settle where water once flowed. Which way do we want to go? Sand spirit. Bats. did it have to be snakes?
Fury.
Fury. Nick Fury. I have no idea why I called out his name like that. Beautiful detail work. Just great graphically. The art team, absolutely first rate. That's another level for me. Nice. I like levels. I cannot lie. Well, I can lie. I really can lie. How about 5 more dexterity? And then we'll get accelerated. You gotta keep them accelerated. Bam, bam, bam. Old guy music reference. Whoop. An amethyst ring. Blue quality for a change. Another checky point. Beach Slinks. All damage ignites, and it has a hindering aura.
Too slow.
Dual string bow. Bow attacks fire an extra arrow. Interesting. Now, actually getting its stats up in other ways to be alright would take some work.
Saw that coming.
Come on, we know you're all gonna wake up. We just know it.
Fury.
Couple of well-placed voltaic marks. When you hit him, they explode. That got like 90% of them. Like that. Kaboom. Earth-shattering kaboom! See? He had a mark, and I blowed him up. He's got a mark. Blowed him up. Mark. See, over his head. Isn't that nice? Nobody else is in the area, so he didn't really, He didn't blow them up quite as well, because there were, wow, there just are an awful lot of these guys.
I shall overcome.
You guys still coming? Jeez Louise, there are a lot of them. Have I got to everyone? I don't want to leave any of you behind. That would be rude. And I am many things, but I'm almost never rude. Except when I'm lying, like right now. Because lying to
That
you
would only slow me down.
is rude. Oh, wow. We'll drop that. Move these downstairs. Because that's got 2 sockets, which means I get 2 socket materials when I salvage it.
That would only slow me down.
No, it doesn't look like there's anything else I want to lob at this point. I'm going to lob that. Because I can. Because I'm the boss of me. Which sounds like it's a deal, but it kind of means that if I do something wrong, it's probably my fault. Not that I have to accept the blame for it. I can always blame others for my own mistakes. It's an age-old skill, an art even, blaming others for your own mistakes. I'm not bad at it. I'm a pro, but... It's looking like, yeah, it is. It's Abyss time again. I want to back up because more of them are gonna be spawning. I hate to say I told you so. I did. I don't really hate to say I told you so if I...
That is no natural hollow.
Is that a yellow again? It is a rare. And he's dead. We kill them all. We got our abyssal depths. Our first abyssal depths. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back to town, sell my stuff, empty out my inventory. It used to be the abyssal depths were quite rare. It seems like they've mixed up the mechanics a little, and I would hope that they'll be more frequent, if not quite as potent.
Greetings.
Identify. Salvage. The socketed stuff. Except that one. You might want to use that one. We'll check on that at a later time. Disenchant. Movement speed. That's nice. Basically nothing else on that is good, though. We want to sell
Here, have this useless gold.
those two. An alch. I think that's only my second alchemy. That's alch as in alchemy, not alch as in Alkaiser. Although possibly. Those are supports. You can tell because they lift and separate. I kill me. But then somebody should. Alright, we'll refill our well from the well, and we'll go right back. And we're heading, unless it went away, to the abyssal depths. Here we go, guys. I jumped down into the abyssal depths. Yeah, what the heck? Big hole appears in the ground. I'm jumping in. 0. Some things were given. Buried shrines. Okay, that'll take me back up. There's a checkpoint here, although it's green instead of blue. I think I prefer the aesthetics of the blue, I must say. We have many sigils of undetermined yet spooky nature.
Charged arrow.
So basically it's a map of indeterminate size with abyssal monsters. And hopefully fat loot. I mean, I had heard that the new Abyss League was very rewarding. I have not particularly seen much in the way of rewards from it yet. But if this is the kind of thing where every once in a while you'll get a trip into the depths, then yeah, I can certainly see it could easily get quite rewarding. Ooh, nifty. I like the graphics. Visually impressive. Art team, good work. Again. Art team, killing it. Oh, I hate going down in a screen downward because you can't see anything. If that makes sense. Okay, this just takes us back. All right, that was a quick little loop. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Here we go, loop-de-lie. A lightless abomination. Come on, come on. You want to come around the corner. I know you do. I know you do. Thank you. Abyssal Strangler. Gotta say, the Abyss is a weird place. Wonder, is that his job title, do you think? Does it say that on his business card? Okay, that's looking like a circle, like some sort of central thing. I have a large chest in my sights. We have a checkpoint. I want to grab the checkpoint. Bubonic Trail. Excellent. I can't come up with anything to complain about with a bubonic trail. I mean, that's just winning. There's no way that's not winning. I don't think I got to the checkpoint. I did, I think, actually. Those things, the flying green spitters, they're the ones that killed me earlier when like a dozen of them came out on a respawn or an abyss spawn when I was in a narrow passageway and they all fired at once. And I couldn't get out of the way of like a dozen of them. Because pain hurts. Look, we got something over there that is distinctly unfriendly. Another yellow. Gore Chew, Soul Flame Geysers. Periodic something explosions, fire explosions, and extra crits. It would be nice, you know, if we could actually kind of see what the badness was that these individuals bring to the table before they inflict it on us. Oh, he's got a shield as well. That's really unnecessary. Oh, why is he not dead yet? Jesus Christ. That was fine. That was not a problem of any sort. I just don't think it's ever going to strike me as not strange that the rare mobs are so much harder than the boss mobs. Ding, by the way, 29. Not all of the boss mobs, but an awful lot of them. Venge wings is what those are. Lightless venge wings. Let me take a moment to increase my skill speed, which will be nice because it'll go from 0.75 seconds to what? About 0.73? 0.74. Yellow quality large chest. Don't disappoint me. Have some good stuff. I deserve good stuff. I'm a nice fellow. Okay, I'm kind of a dick. But I'm occasionally not a complete and total dick. Yes, we know it's a charged arrow. Thanks. We have another checkpoint. Bigger map than I expected. That was not a complaint. I want to be clear. Oh, that, however, is a complaint. Marrow Whipper, what the hell has he got? Aminamu's Void, and a bunch of other stuff too. Powerful minions, extra cold damage. Great. I almost got him. Got him. Omens of Dextral Necromancy. I have no idea what those are, but god damn, they sound cool. Did we actually get someone speaking? Kulamak. We do not suffer in death, we thrive. Kulamak is a bad guy. Well, what were those things I picked up? There. Omens of Dextral Necromancy. While this item is active in your inventory, your next desecration attempt will add only suffix modifiers. Well, I mean, who doesn't want to desecrate? I mean, everything. Abyssal Trove. Large Abyssal Trove. Abyssal Trove.
That would only slow me down.
All right, clearly we drop things. I mean, we try to rearrange things. $48, volatile dead, monotrain. We never gonna use monotrain. Monotrain is dumb. All right, that should allow us enough space to pick up the shaman's mantle. I'm assuming, yeah, this is okay. This is the end of the area. I mean, I could fight my way through more if I wanted to, but that is going to be the rewards. We'll go ahead and return to the surface. And again, our inventory is full. I used the phrase player griefing to describe some of the design in the game, and I certainly stick with that. Another example would be quest items filling up your very, very limited inventory. Certain items taking up enormous amounts of space in your inventory. This kind of game system, you know, just make everything take up one square and just give us fewer squares. Don't give us the illusion of inventory space.
What have you learned?
It's a bullshit mechanic. Alright, that one's not worth breaking up. Sadly, that one is. As is that one.
Young one, I've got some.
No, that's
This could be
a cell. We'll disenchant. 7 to 11. That's level 19. It's basically a starter bow. Requires level 19. A starter bow that requires level 19 and is a piece of crap? Add 5. Plus 1 to melee skills. We want to keep that in case we play a melee build, which for me would have to be monk because the rest of the melee builds are terrible. Yes, exactly. Uthrax. Bithud. Tochiel Tienvi? That's an old guy movie reference. Either you know exactly what I'm talking about, or you're going, fuck. Let's see. Spear throw. No. If you didn't get it, it's a reference to a really excellent old movie called Excalibur. Let's see. Right now we're doing 608, and this is significantly less. It has prefix, suffix. It's not going to get a lot better, so we'll go ahead and deconstruct that one. How about this? 134. Oh, armor. No, we don't do armor around here. We'll do evasion and energy shield, but we don't do armor. $340 and blue. We'll go ahead and fire off an AUG on that. Wrong one. On that. There we go. Very nice. That one's got space for one too. Sure. AUGs for everyone. What?
This could
Sell
be.
that.
Do not wander.
Yeah, I just think the time of the necessity of inventory Tetris is long gone. Just having to do that constantly is dreadful. I just don't think it adds anything to the player's experience. All it does is add additional frustration. All right, we're on Buried Shrines. We've just finished our first Abyssal Depths right there. It was cool. Liked it. So that's the first sort of upgraded experience. Heart of Keth that I've had with the League mechanic. Yeah, at least an auto range. Last Epoch has it. It's not perfect, but it's very good. And it shouldn't be a big deal. There is no advantage to not having it other than they don't have to code it. Making things a little bit easier for the players is a plus. Quality of life matters. All right, boss fight coming. Azarian the Forsaken Son. He has mommy issues.
It was a harsh life filled with pain, and I
Could kill me. Absolutely could kill me. Haven't fought him in, I don't know, 8 months, something like that. I didn't play very much of 0.2 because it was not good. I played a good amount of 0.1, even though I had a lot of loud issues with it. Azarian, are you done yet? Ready to, like, fight?
Storming arrow.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. That round boy can move pretty good, and I say that as an obvious round boy. Okay, that was not especially welcome. When he winds up, I've got to get the hell out of his way a little more quickly. He's stunned. Gotta hit him as hard as I can, as quick as I can. He broke that. Oh, come on. That's somebody's furniture, dude. He's also filled up the fucking floor with fire. They have some quality of life to work on for sure. Still disappointed with the naming system, having to come up with dumb names like Faux Shizzle. Whizzle Teats is off-putting. First of all, excellent name. I'm assuming Whizzle Teats is a Ren and Stimpy reference. Quality reference, sir. Very nicely done. And you are looking at Is the Game Fixed is the name of my character. Because everyone was saying that for like the last week. The patch that fixes the game.
This woman's certainly seen better days.
Please tell me I'm correct that it was a Stinky Weasel Teats reference. Thank goodness. Isn't it nice when somebody gets your goddamn references when you're sure it's an obscure reference, and this old guy isn't going to get it? The old guy got it. It feels good sometimes, you know.
Please, my follower, none. I ask you.
You have my lasting, even abiding admiration. To go through the trouble when you're making up a fake name. To go with Weasel Teats, primo work. Really good.
Not the most peaceful way to go, but her pain is ended.
Talk to Zarka. Use the desert map. Trial of Sekima. Retrace the Horn of Vastiri. Yeah, I think we're back. Okay. It took me a second to place the Weasel Teats. Took me just a second.
What have you learned?
My brain went, I know that. Why do I know that? Ding.
Thank you.
Hello, Zarka.
There was a goddess. It'll take my finger.
Another support gem. And, gosh, I guess I'll take the Horn of the Vastiri.
Musically inclined, but if I must.
So I would say it's clear then that you are a sick little monkey.
It is time to use the... Move swiftly.
Slaves.
I have to move up to the front and blow my horn, I believe. Is that not correct? Use the desert to move to the sandstorm at the Halani Gates. Ah, yeah, the gates. I'm going to blow my horn. I'm going to toot my own horn.
You can't hide forever, Jaman-Ra.
I am hesitant. Move swiftly.
All right, let's check out our garbage and stuffs that we're carrying, and then we're going to try to ascend.
As we approach the others, if you happen to find...
Will I succeed? Probably not.
Warm nights. What?
It's a mechanic I do not like. In fact, for ascending, they picked the two mechanics that I hated most over the last several years, so... Unsurprisingly, not that enthused. That's a hat. Looks Robin Hoodie. That we definitely want to deconstruct. All right, we'll deconstruct the one that's got sockets. We'll sell the ones that are blue. That's kind of my fallback, is sell any of the blue items, and after the early game, and then disenchant any yellow items. Blue items turn into shards of a currency you get plenty of. Yellow items disenchant into shards of an item you get a lot less of as drops.
Ah, that's nice. I will tell your tale.
She will tell my tale. Great. Thanks so much. All right. But we're not going to head off in that direction. Nope. We've blown our horn, but we're going to try. Not going to Deshar. We're going to try the Trial of the Sekimas. See if we can ascend. All right, here we go. Really, they took my two least favorite mechanics of the last, I don't know, almost forever, and made those the only options you have to ascend. It's like they're punishing me in particular, as I found both of these mechanics to be shitty versions of roguelikes that you had to make a build specifically to take advantage of. And instead, they've made them into a core game element. I'm not enthused. Speak to Balbala. Relic Locker now available in my hideout. Hi, Balbala. I will take that. 11% increased maximum honor. Okay. Interact to participate in the Trial of the Sekimas. Well, we only have one relic. Might as well use it.
I'm unsure what I've gotten myself into here.
Test of strength. So in here, it's not about staying alive. Here, it's about basically not getting hit. There's my honor. I have 689. It equals my life, but if I lose it all, I don't die. I just get booted out. Survive waves of monster until the timer expires. Killing rare monsters reduces the timer. Doesn't help that I can't see a lot of the monsters. Also not helping that I can't successfully target them because I'm old and crappy at games. Would you freaking just die? You didn't die. Why didn't you die? Did we finish? We did. We lost only 18 honor. I'll take that. That's not terrible. I mean, it's not good, but it's not terrible. I got some sacred water. I wonder if I'll have to pass water. Sacred water, of course. Anything else? Anything else? No. Grant sacred water. All right, that gives me 134 sacred water. Trial. Okay, this is where I say it's essentially a, to my mind, a shitty implementation of a roguelike. You know, each of these areas theoretically has a prize, but it also has a debuff you carry for the rest of the run. But you can get completely screwed by the layout. And tough shit, you don't get to ascend right now. Better luck next time. It's just a dreadful mechanic. It is so much worse. The Trials of Ascension in PoE1, they could be annoying. But from a design point of view, they were great. Early, when I first got into the game, I mean, I failed a lot, but I thought they were terrific game design. This is lazy, crappy. Oh, we'll take somebody else's idea about roguelikes and we'll try to make it work here, and it mostly won't. The only people who like this and the other one they use, which is not Trials of the Ancients, I can't remember, Ultimatum. The only people who like it are the people who liked it when they were League mechanics were people who went out of their way to make builds that were good for it, because they're very profitable. As a League mechanic for something like Ascension, it's terrible. Let's see, awards a large sacred water fountain. Okay, but then we'd have to go here, and that awards a shrine to restore honor. Okay, that's not a bad combo. Awards a silver key. That's an end reward. I'm not that interested. Which one is that? That's the ritual trial. I don't remember what trial that is. The chalice trial. I don't remember that trial either. Awards you sacred water. Afflicts you with dark pit. Would I like to be afflicted with dark pit? Let me think no. I think I'd rather have the large water fountain. But I don't remember which exact trial this is.
Fury.
Defeat the ritual casters. Okay, traps. And we would need to defeat the summoners. Coming up, good. I'll come back around. All right. Come on up. Oh, waves of them. Let's see. Ooh, silk robe. Silk is so nice. It feels so good on my body. That sounded creepy to me. I hope it sounded creepy to you. That was the intent. Trial complete. I did not lose any honor. Way to go, Lens. Woohoo! Like I said, if you get lucky and you get generous, a generous layout, it's not bad. But if you get a bad one, you're screwed. You're just done. Sacred water. Okay. Now, we're lucky here. We have 3 choices. This one will afflict us with sharpened arrow on entry. We have no armor. That's fine. I don't think we actually have any armor. That one doesn't hurt us at all, the negative, the debuff. That one gives us a key. Afflicts us with spiked exit. We take 19 damage on every room completion. That's not great. So we head here next. And these are the options we're going to have. Awards a shrine that restores honor and grants you a boon. Afflicts you with rapid quicksand. Traps are faster. That's really bad for me. I think, well, we're going to want to see what these ones are. But we have to go into the hourglass trial, so in we go. Now, we did one of these already. We did take, what was it, 18 damage or something? Waves of monsters. Yeah, we took 18 damage previously. Didn't ask for a nice big yellow enormous unpleasant monster. Thank you. Could we not have any more of those? Would be optimal. I would be pleased with that. All right, we lost none.
Magnificence.
We have another relic. Cool. That's if we ever make it to the future trials like this. A tattered robe. Tattered? Do I look like I would wear something tattered? Come on, man. Oh, I think that's a little bit of water. Not much, but 6 sacred water. I couldn't pass up on sacred water. Restore 115 of my honor. I've only lost 18. It'd be nice if we got extra. Cost me 5 sacred water, worth it for the 18. Because the only thing that really matters is the honor. Alright. Contains a merchant. That's good. I think the water is what we use to buy stuff from the merchant. A key, so that would be a key, and that would be a key in escape trial. I don't remember the escape trial. The hourglass trial we've done twice. That one we don't want. That one we don't want. The sharpened arrowhead doesn't bother us because we have no armor anyway, right? 0% armor. So the debuff on this one isn't going to hurt us a bit. That's it? Hori Torido, that one was fast. We're still completely honorable. My honor knows no bounds. Restore 231. I don't need to even spend the 5 because I'm full. Okay, so, looks like we're going here whether we like it or not. Awards a pledge which can be accepted to change the trial's parameters. All right, do we want another hourglass trial or an escape trial? I think the escape trial has more of the traps. I think I'd rather have the hourglass trial and the merchant than a key. At least I know what I'm getting into with the hourglass trial, you know? Okay, we want to avoid the trap over there and there. Note to self, don't run away too far in those directions. Yeah, that'd be bad. That was not particularly well done by me. Just want to... Why am I always getting all the big yellow frickin' spooters? Got him. I lost 16 honor. Not bad. I will take that with a song in my heart and a smile on my lips. It looks like a grimace, but I assure you it's a smile. Seriously, that I'm fine with. Only losing... I've lost 18 once and 16 once, and I have no issue with that. Balbala. What do we got? Purchase. I have 614, which means I can buy almost any... I can buy 2 items. So, restoring the honor, not worth it. Relic Seal Relic. 10% increased honor restored. The next 10 non-boss monsters I hit are killed instantly. That seems really good. We can't get that and one of the relics. We can get that and the honor, or we can just get that and hold on to the rest. Or we can get the 2 relics. Honor restored. Honor restored monsters have a 6% chance to drop double water. No, I want to kill mobs instantly. The next 10. Thank you. And we'll hold on to our water. I'm holding my water right now, by the way.
We will succeed.
Next up. Awards a pledge. And then we'll have our choice of an escape trial with a pledge, and it curses you with enfeeble. Yeah, reduces damage. That will be reduced honor restored. That shouldn't be a problem because we're almost at the end. So we won't be restoring any more honor. And then that is less energy shield, which isn't that significant. That's only 38. So, regardless, we're going for the ritual trial. I will have to say that if I fail this trial of the Sekimas, this one's on me, I think. It's that it is not an especially difficult combo platter.
Good riddance.
Trial complete with one batch of them? Are you shit? Oh, they weren't bosses. I still have got like 7 shots left, but that was all there was. Choose a pledge. On a pledge to Kochai, the inscrutable, altering the parameters of the trial. Only going to cost me 5. Water. Less merchant prices, but they don't drop sacred water. Gain a fountain of youth, but gain myriad aspersions. No thank you. Gain a random minor affliction and a random minor boon. I don't think so. I think I'm just going to close it and refuse it. Well, monsters not dropping sacred water, sure. I don't think there's another merchant. Maybe at the end there is. But I'm not counting on the monsters dropping any of that, so we're just going to go ahead and accept that pledge. Hourglass Trial contains a merchant. Contains Rattlecage the Earthbreaker. Escape Trial now, yeah, I don't think I want that. Because I still have, I think, 7 shots left on my... apparently, I only have 3 shots left on my Assassin's Blade. Or maybe that's 3 that have been used up. Because I thought it was just 3. Anyway, Shattered Shield, less energy shield. Reduced honor restored. I think I'm fine with that. It's an hourglass trial again. I know what I'm getting into. Like I said, don't hold me to it, but I think if I fail this trial of the Sekimas, it's on me. As this has not been a particularly difficult trial of the Sekimas. Nope, that is all of my free kills. Oh my god, he's got fucking proximal tangibility. Or intangibility. Means I can only hit him when I'm close to him. Which means, of course, how he can damage me. That is just, it is an incredible bullshit mechanic that they have brought in. It's just so fucking bad. But we're almost done with it anyway, so. Yeah, fuck that guy. We did not get hit.
Magnificence.
So we've lost 18 once and 16 once, and that's it so far. Maybe they made it simpler. Maybe I just have gotten lucky. Or maybe I'm an incredible gamer. It's the lucky thing.
Rest a while.
I have 259. Restore 52 honor doesn't make sense. Wow, okay, we got, let's see. Cannot be damaged until you complete the next room. Is the next room? The next room's the boss.
Rest a while.
Gee! Cannot be damaged until I complete the next room, and the next room is the boss. Remember I was just a minute ago talking about luck? I think that allows me to finish it
Always
as a guarantee. Part of me wants to just stand there and wave at him before I kill him, but no, I'm not going to mess around. I don't want to screw it up. In case, I'm pretty sure that the way I have just read that is in fact the accurate way, because I'm pretty sure in the past I killed him with that buff. Got him. Yeah, I don't know if anything hit me there. I don't think it did. But even if it did, I don't think I was going to take any damage from it. So, remember when I said about luck? That is a perfect example of a very lucky run. I got lucky.
Let's plan.
I have one bronze key. I don't have enough to buy anything else. Isn't there a key vendor? Convert your leftover sacred water to keys. Well, okay. I have a silver key now in addition. I want the Deadeye. And I believe we go here initially to get me Tailwind. Skill speed and Tailwind. Tailwind is really good. Tailwind is a stacking buff. Grants a % increased movement, 3% skill speed, and 15% increased invasion rating per stack for 10 seconds. Refreshing whenever you gain another stack. Maximum is 10 stacks. It's really good. So I'm going to ascend. And go to Tailwind. I think when we get to 4, though, we unspec Tailwind and go for endless munitions, but I'm not sure. At least right now, the defenses and additional offenses from Tailwind are just too good. There we go. We have ascended. Balbala? Nothing you can tell me, right? Yeah, okay. So we have 1 bronze and 1 silver. And no gold, sadly. Okay, the bronze. Bronze Rangers cache. Mysterious cache, mysterious cache. Let's get the Rangers. We're Ranger. Theoretically, it should have some stuff we can use. Oh, we probably want the barricade shield more than we want some of this other stuff. Sadly, yellow, blue, blue. It's got a socket. The socketing bits are more important. But now we have to move everything over one to make room for it. Because GGG hates the players. We have a silver. We've got a ranger, shield. Shield does nothing for us, obvious. Gloves. How are our gloves? Our gloves are level 16. They've got energy shield. They don't have any invasion. Silver gloves. Ranger. Let's go ranger. We're guaranteed to at least have... Okay, well, I'm going to want to look at the bows. All right. Fortunately, we have a boatload of identification. That's not particularly strong. Wisdom scrolls. Let's check that. +2 to proj is not bad at all. Vagabond armor going away. I'm not sure if that actually gained me anything. The bullshit is just excruciating. Inventory Tetris bullshit like this is just... It's an intentional frustration for the players. That's really all it is. I doubt that's good enough. Okay, so we got one blue that has +2 to level of projectile skills, which is pretty good. But we already have +2 on the bow we're using. So we can still keep the shield, which is good for a socket, and the rest of this is non-starters. Right. All right. We have nothing else. We'll click on gold. Nope, didn't like that. Silver. Nope. No, we can't. No, we're done. Okay. We have our ascendancy. Trial of Secamus is complete. Touchdown. The crowd goes wild, or maybe not. Rare monsters deal 5% reduced damage, and increased quantity of relics dropped by monsters and traps deal reduced damage. Traps deal reduced damage would be pretty good. Alright, I'm going to go back to town and call it an evening. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight while I fully fulfilled my obligation as an angry old man shouting at clouds. I think the game has improved over 0.2. Probably improved over 0.1, I would say. I still have an enormous number of pain points in it. An enormous number of really unnecessary pain points in it. But it is free for the weekend, so if you haven't played it, because your tastes and mine may not be in perfect synchrony, I strongly suggest trying it out. Free weekend. All it's going to cost you is, 40 or 60 gigabytes of download time and bandwidth. Try it. One last piece of recommendation for that, if you're going to. Probably a ranged class is better. Warrior is generally still difficult mode. So Ranger would be good. The casters would be okay. Which in particular, Essence Drain, Contagion, and Minions would be a really good starter. But I'm going to call it here. again, thank you guys very much for hanging out. As always, I do appreciate it. I should be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand with more, probably, PoE2. I will probably continue to play offline, maybe a different character. I did create a second character to poke at another class. There's a lot of good in the game, despite my complaints. If you haven't tried it, try the free-to-play. You might actually love it, in which case, go me. But I'm going to call it here. Again, I hope the rest of your Saturday night, or possibly Sunday morning, goes great. Back tomorrow. Take care of yourself, and ciao for now.